Hello everybody, Tyron the God 3 here, and welcome back to Pokemon Universe, part of Fanfic Fridays. I bet you all are wondering what's up with the episode review of X, Y, and Z. I'll be doing that one probably on Saturday or Sunday, because there's some information that I needed to gather and process all together. Plus, I'm thinking I'm changing up the way I do reviews. Not like this episode, the episode for that isn't technically a filler. It's filler with stuff in it. I don't know what to call it, but I have like plans for all reviews, not just fillers now. So with that being said, though, let's get back into the video topic at hand. Pokemon Universe, Episode 3, Gible Attack. Luna appears. This episode is an episode I had fun writing because we finally get a traveling companion on board in the form of Luna. So, this episode, we'll just get straight into the plot summary first, and then I'll go ahead and just explain the writing process and everything I went through when making this episode. So, with all that said, let's go. The episode begins with Trent and Pichu triumphantly, after Trent has already captured Hoot Hoot. They make it out of Cherryville Forest, and they make it to this area known as the Shosin Meadows. It's right by an area known as Shosin Mountains, famous for holding various types of dragon-type Pokemon and, just Pokemon in general. So, once they're in the meadows, Trent goes to catch another Pokemon because he figured, hey, he's caught Hoot Hoot. He might as well go about catching another Pokemon as well. What he ends up seeing is a Gible. Trent doesn't know what a Gible is, obviously, so he whips out his Pokedex in order to gain some knowledge on it. And when he gets that knowledge, he tries to capture it by using Pichu in order to fight off against Gible. Mistake number one. Trent doesn't know Trent's not very skilled in battling, if the battle with Kaz didn't already tell you that, but his knowledge upon which Pokemon are good against which isn't that good. So because of that, he winds up getting into a lot of trouble, and this is an episode that shows the prime example of that. He has Pichu fight Gible, not knowing that Pichu's electric attacks aren't going to work on Gible. So when Pichu does use Thundershock, Gible just sees it as a challenge more so than any damage and tries to attack Pichu. And once he ends up attacking Pichu, he ends up calling up two more Gibles, and all three of them just attack Pichu ruthlessly. Trent's in a bind and he doesn't know what to do. Thankfully, right before Pichu ends up getting hit with some major damage, this girl appears, and when this girl appears, she ends up choosing Cyndaquil, Misdreavus, and Cotini in order to come out to battle. What she ends up doing then is blinding the Gibles really quick by using Cyndaquil's smokescreen, and in the midst of that smokescreen has Misdreavus use Hypnosis, with Cotini using Grass Whistle to send all three of them to sleep. After this, the girl, it's her name, but the girl goes ahead and tells Trent to follow her so that they can leave the area and be safe from the Gible. Once they leave the area and find a place to go to, they go to catch their breath. Pichu's badly damaged, and Luna ends up healing the Pichu by spraying potion on it. Yeah, I just revealed her name, but whatever. She reveals herself to be named Luna. There you go. So she ends up using the potion on Pichu, and Pichu ends up getting healed. Then Luna scalds Trent for using a Pichu to fight off against a bunch of Gible. Then she asks who Trent is. Trent introduces himself and states that he's going to be the world's greatest Pokemon trainer. Now, one thing I like to do, and I know this is one of those annoying things that all shonen anime characters usually do, but they end up showing their intentions constantly throughout the series, like in the English dub of One Piece, where Luffy kept stating he wanted to be king of the pirates, or Naruto kept saying he wanted to be Hokage. This is a trait I wanted Trent to have, where he states that he's going to be the champion. It's all in resentment of his father, who is the current Gaeza region champion. So Trent will keep stating that he wants to be the champion to knock his father off of the throne and gain respect. Because of this, however, Luna mocks him for his inability to battle properly because he doesn't know about type disadvantages and advantages fully yet. So because of this, Luna basically states that it mocks his ability as a Pokemon trainer and states that he's got a long way to go because, he tried to fight a Gible with a Pichu. After this, Trent gets a little mad, but he has no choice but to thank her for what she did for Pichu because Pichu's back on its feet. After this, Luna explains that she's training, but not training for the same type of journey that Trent's doing. Luna's a Pokemon trainer, but of a different sort. Luna's whole entire reason for training is a bit different. And this is where we get into Luna's major backstory. You see, Luna's from a village known as Kello Village. And in Kello Village, there's a group of monks in Kello Village who get together and do this ritual. And when they do this ritual properly in a year, once every year, they get to meet up with the legendary Pokemon Xerneas to gain some energy and wisdom and somewhat enlightenment, if you will. However, one of the monks that was following them ended up following a dark path with dark intentions that weren't yet brought to light. Because of this, he was denied the chance to see Xerneas, and out of anger and resentment, he performed his own form of ritual where instead of meeting Xerneas, he meets up with the destruction Pokemon Evital. What's even worse, he somehow gained the ability to control Evital through dark intentions, and now uses Evital's power in order to wipe out all of the Gaeza region, starting with the Kello Village. Once Luna returns to Kello Village after training with her Pokemon for a while, the three you see in front of her, Cyndaquil, Kartini, and Misdreavus, she ends up seeing that basically all of Kello Village is destroyed. A lot of people dead, some people injured, and her grandma seriously injured up. At this point, Luna tries to do whatever she can to go follow this man, which his name is Damien, but he gains the alias known as the Destruction King. She's stopped, however, by her grandmother and states that she doesn't have the power to stop him now. As of now, Damien's off with Evital, but it is possible that Evital will have to leave Damien because it gets drained of power and that he'll need to summon him up again by gaining more power. At this point, Luna needs to train in order to defeat Damien because at her current strength with the Pokemon that she has right now, she doesn't have the ability to even dent Damien in a legendary Pokemon such as Evital. So at this point, her grandmother gives her the opportunity to go out into the Gaeza region and train her Pokemon up so that she can be the one to defeat Damien because she feels that someone from the exact same village needs to be the one to return Damien to his former self because he's been corrupted more or less. And because of this, Luna has made it her sworn duty to train. However, here's the problem. Luna doesn't know exactly how to journey. What I mean by this is that Luna has traveled outside of the village, but she doesn't quite know where to go. She doesn't know how to meet new areas and new people and new Pokemon. So because of that, she starts to look at Trent and realizes, hey, if Trent's going on a Pokemon journey, if I travel with him, maybe I'll get stronger in the process of that journey. Then Luna tells Trent all of this. Trent gets bored through the backstory flashback that takes place when she was telling him. And she gets a little irritated because she basically told her life story to Trent. He wasn't really listening. But after this, she offers up the chance to travel with Trent on his journey. Trent declines her offer at first, mostly because Trent doesn't want help. Luna offers a chance. Basically, Luna's offering a chance to help Trent battle and learn how to battle and become a better Pokemon trainer. In exchange, Luna can travel with Trent and become stronger by just training during the journey. Trent declines this offer for two reasons. One, because she's a girl and he felt that that was a downgrade for him to receive advice from a girl. And two, it's because he doesn't want to be babied. He doesn't want people to tell him how to do things. Luna calls him out on it and states that the first statement was sexist and the second statement was false because every great Pokemon trainer needs help once in a while. At this point, however, they have no more time to really talk over that subject because the Gibble are awake and they're rushing back in order to attack Luna and Trent again. This time, they go out on an all-out battle against the three Gibbles. Luna battles off against the Gibbles using Cyndaquil and Misdreavus, while Trent battles off against one of the Gibble. He's about to use Pichu, but Luna scalds him for about to use Pichu again and asks does he have any other Pokemon. Luckily, Trent remembers that he has Hoothoot on his team now and goes in to use the Hoothoot instead. On Luna's side of the battle, Luna ends up fighting off the two Gibbles by using Cyndaquil and Misdreavus respectively. Now, one thing that Luna does, I like to imagine the move Flame Wheel, the move Cyndaquil can use. whenever I thought of Flame Wheel, I always thought of the Spin Dash from the Sonic the Hedgehog series. So I always imagine that's what it looks like. So I have Cyndaquil go ahead and use Flame Wheel like that. And then to add a combination to it, Miss Drevis boosts that with Dark Pulse so the flames get all black and cool and charges forward and hits the two Gibbles and knocks them out. As for Trent's side of the battle, he ends up getting his butt kicked because he doesn't know many of Hoot Hoot's attacks. He does know that Hoot Hoot knows Peck, but it gets beat up by Gibble because Gibble's just way stronger than that. Then Luna tells Trent to look up its Pokédex so that he can look up the moves that Hoot Hoot knows. The only other move that Trent sees here is Hypnosis, and it doesn't do any damage. Luna informs Trent that not all attacks that do damage are the most useful attacks. Some are useful even if they don't. Because of this, Trent was able to tell Hoot Hoot to use Hypnosis, which caused Gibble to go to sleep, and allowed Trent to defeat Gibble by using Peck. Thus, Trent winning another battle against the wild Pokemon thanks to Luna's advice this time. Because the three Gibble are knocked out, they end up knocked out in a pile. Before Trent and Luna can celebrate, however, they start to hear a roar from the mother of the Gibbles, a Garchomp. They run away real fast before the mother arrives, and thus they're able to get closer out of the meadow area. Now that they're clear of the meadows area, Trent does say thank you for Luna's advice, even though he really didn't want it. Luna then goes ahead and tells him that the next town is this way and runs with him and runs before him, implying that they're already traveling together. Trent does follow her, but then realizes that he didn't say that she can join his group. And then the narrator, I like when the narrator reflects on it because he's like, Trent's gained a new traveling companion in Luna. Then Trent breaks the fourth wall by stating that he never said that she could travel with him, and then the episode is over. I liked this episode simply for the fact that it focused on Luna's character, and this is how we get her major backstory for why she's traveling with Trent in the first place. When I look at her character and why she's with Trent, it more or less looks like Iris and Misty, but with more of a purpose behind it. She's going in this journey to stop a madman who's basically gone off to destroy all of the world, or at least the region that they're in. But he started his destruction off with Luna's hometown, in which causes Luna to be the one to travel off and be the one to avenge her fallen people. It's a kind of a cliche plot line, but for something like Pokemon, it's a bit dark. And it also begs the question, whose plot is more important? Is it Trent's journey to become champion, or is it Luna's journey in order to avenge her people? But these two plots rather mesh well when I kept writing episodes even more into the plot, so I wasn't too upset about it. Other than that, I kind of struggled on which Pokemon I thought should be good for Trent to battle, and I needed an excuse to use Hoot Hoot rather than Trent sticking with Pichu this time, so I did like that. Other than that, I really liked how this episode went in terms of just plot, character development for Luna, and I think it was a pretty comfortable way to introduce her into the journey, because Trent and Luna, to me, when I think of them two as characters, I like to think, you'll see later on how they communicate with each other, and as you can see, the way she joined Trent in this journey, Trent didn't even technically say she could join him, it's just she ends up joining anyway. And I feel this is more natural than later on in Pokemon episodes we see in the original anime where it's like the girl's like, hey, your Pikachu shocked my bike, can I join you? And Ash is like, sure. Well, whereas in this one, it's like she at first asked, then she says, you know what, I don't need your permission, let's just go. So it's kind of messed up how she makes herself join the journey. But I think she's a rather good character, and in later episodes, there's episodes that flesh out her character even more. Now, the tone for this series, because people have asked, and Luna is a prime example of a tone shift, because the series can have tones based on my emotions. There's some episodes where there's just very lighthearted. There's senseless humor, and well, not senseless, but like there's some humor behind it, there's lightheartedness, and then there's episodes that may have to deal with Luna. Not all Luna episodes are dark, by the way, I just want to let you know that, because there's episodes that revolve around her. There's episodes that revolve around her Pokemon. That are like different types. There's humorous ones, there's lighthearted ones, and then there's the ones where she deals with the problem at hand, which is, Damien the Destruction King and his Evital, which that's the later plot for later in the series. All of this while trying to maintain the journey. Now, one of the things when you actually read the script, her grandmother, her name is Edna, tells Luna that she must enjoy herself while she's on the journey, not just try to train in order to seek revenge, which is one of the reasons why, even though she's on the journey, Luna still has this lightheartedness about her, or she'll still have these fun times with everybody, and she'll still have fun and enjoy things like shopping and, girl stuff and things like that. Also, quick note, Luna's character isn't like a character I thought of by myself. Luna's actually a character that was inspired from one of my friends that I went to school with. She is basically the outer shell thought process behind this character, because when I was making the fanfic way back in high school, I asked a bunch of my friends would they like to participate in it. And because most of them said yeah, one of my friends said she wants this type of character with these Pokemon. So the Pokemon you see before you are her choices. The other three, again, her choices. One of them isn't, but the other two she'll obtain are her choices. Because these are ones she picked out. Now, as far as character design, she didn't think of a character design for it. And like I said, this isn't a permanent character design. This is just a sprite that I grabbed that I felt would be appropriate, I guess, to represent her. But overall, the Pokemon you see before you are Pokemon she's picked out. And my friend is the one who made up the name, and the backstory was something I thought of because it took me a long time to actually think of a backstory for a traveling companion for Trent. And this was one of the best ones I could think of. That was fighting between a bunch of different others, but this was the backstory I felt most comfortable with. And looking into the future, I felt this one would fit well with the rest of the plot without causing too much of a disturbance. So I'm actually pretty proud of that. Other than that, yeah, we get to see a lot of Luna, and we get to see some great character development for her. And one thing I'm a sucker for when it comes to writing anything or reading anything is character development. So rest assured, you don't even have to worry about her being in the background like Misty or Iris. There'll be plenty of episodes that have to do with Luna and her Pokemon, because not only does she have personality, but her Pokemon have a lot of personality too. So yeah, with the introduction of Luna, I was really enjoying her debut episode, just reading back on it after so long. So yeah, with that said, the next episode is episode 4, and it's titled Shiny Eevee and Coda, the Poketographer. I'll see you all then, everybody. Tyrone the God 3, out.